Hi, I'm Jen from Jimmy Bean's Wool, and I've got some of my favorite new needles to show you today. I've got the knit red lace needles from ChiaoGoo to show you. I think I've said that right. Go ahead and correct me or let it go if it's not right. It means crafting lady in Chinese, which is kind of cool. So it's the ChiaoGoo needles. And I've got the knit red lace. We've got fixed circular needles as well as interchangeable sets. I want to tell you about the fixed ones first here. They come in a variety of sizes. Right now we've got 2 through 17 on a variety of cord lengths, whatever will work for your project. And if you're looking for a particular one that we don't have, you can always let us know. We'll see if it's available. They are fantastic, fantastic needles. I really like them. They've got very sharp tips. So they're great for lace knitting, things where you're picking up yarn overs or trying to get in there to knit 3 together. It's fantastic to have a sharp needle for that. I also prefer a sharper tip because I tend to work with things with a tight twist, and I find that that helps me not split the yarn quite so much. So your results may vary for whatever you like, but these have a nice sharp tip to them. They're also very smooth. Your knitting slides by really quickly, but it also grabs just a little bit. It's not quite as slick as some other needles I've used, so it gives me in particular the best of both worlds, where my knitting is sliding by and it's going quickly, but also it's grabbing it just a little bit so that those yarn overs don't slide off too quickly and I end up dropping them everywhere and having to pick things up. That's no good. We don't want to do that. So it's got a nice balance between the two. So it's slick because it's metal, but it also gives you a little bit of grab, just the way that it's coated. They are fantastic, fantastic. I was using them, the fixed needles, on a cardigan. I'm loving how it's working up. I'm loving knitting on it because the needles are just fantastic tools to use. In fact, I loved them so much, I bought an interchangeable set. So let me tell you about those, because if you love these as much as I do, even though it's a little more expensive up front to get an interchangeable set, then you have all the sizes you might ever need, and you don't have to buy all of the individual needles, and it becomes cheaper in the long run. Ask me how I know. There are 3 different interchangeable set options from ChiaoGoo for the red lace needles. There's a small set, a large set, and a complete set, and these are the twist cords for those of you who are well versed in ChiaoGoo. We don't have the other ones. I really like the twist cords because it stays mobile, it stays with you. The cords are really flexible but still have some strength. There's nothing, to me, worse than a too floppy cord when you're trying to keep something up where you want to be working and it's trying to flop everywhere. They're fantastic, and that's true of the fixed ones as well as the interchangeables. The cord is, oh my gosh, it's great. It's a steel reinforced cord with nice and smooth, nothing catches on it. I love them. Back to the interchangeable sets, though. There are 3, small, large, and then the complete set, which I don't have in front of me here, but does exist, and we'll talk about that one as well. Each set comes in the same little case. It's fantastic. And the small set includes tips 2 through 8 in here, which is really a great range. Most interchangeable sets start at a 4, which, if you're like me and are a loose knitter and end up having to go down in needle size, that puts me not able to use my interchangeables from other brands. I have to use a fixed needle, but these go all the way down to a 2, which gives you a lot more options for interchangeable. So you've got 2 through 8 over here, and then the join on them is the threaded join and goes with the cables that come with it. What I think is so fantastic about ChiaoGoo is that they have 2 different join sizes. So the small set uses the small cord. You might see that written some places, that it has a small cord. It's referring to the size of the join, which is great because it means that the joins don't catch. The ones that are the sets that are trying to use the same join for every single size of tip means that either on the very large tips or the very small tips, something is catching. But since they have 2 different join sizes, nothing catches. But it does mean you have to keep your cords straight. So the small set uses the small join and gives you small cords. Cords enough to make they're 14-inch cords, so 24-inch needle, 32-inch needle, and a 40-inch needle. And then the cords do come separately. You can get others if you need them. Also in this front pouch, you get some other extra goodies. You get a needle gauge sizer that's fantastic to keep in here, in case you can't tell. Although they are written on the tips, actually very legibly for interchangeable tips, what size they are. So there are those. Get some cute little stitch markers so you're covered And then this guy has all the handy things. You've got the keys in here to tighten up the cords. You've got the cord connector to make a longer cord out of the cords that you already have, or to join two ends together if you need to do that. You also have some end stoppers in here so that if you need to take your tips off and use them on something else, you don't have to take the cord out. I also do that for provisional cast-on sometimes. I use the cord so that I don't have to come back later and pick up stitches instead of waste yarn. I've got it on the cord. All I have to do is put my tips on and go. These keep it from falling off in the meantime and so are great. And so that's the small set, sizes 2 through 8. But your case, you'll notice, also has places for sizes 9 through 15 that you can add in and use if you want to buy individual tips. I went with a small set because I realized not a single project I've knit in the last 2 years used a size bigger than an 8. Except the one I want to knit next uses a 9, so I will be picking up some 9s individually and just adding them into my small set. If you do find yourself using the larger tips, there is the large set, which is the same deal. It's the sizes 9 through 15, however, and then the larger cords. So you have the larger join, which makes it smooth onto the larger tips so that your yarn does not catch. I can't tell you how smooth these joins are, how much I'm loving it on both a lace weight fingering project and a larger worsted weight project. The joins are just fantastic. They're absolutely great. Same thing, you get the cables, only with this set you get the large cables so that they fit the large join, but again in sizes to make a 24, 32, or 60, excuse me, not 60, 40 inch needle, as well as all the goodies that were in the front pouch on the other one. You get those goodies as well. The cord stoppers for the larger cords, they're black instead of white. The key to tighten it up, and the cord connector, as well as the needle gauger and some larger stitch markers because you're probably working on a larger project. The complete set is the fantastic one. It has everything that I just showed you from both individual sets all together in the same set. So you would have sizes 2 through 8, you have sizes 9 through 15, and then you have the large cords and the small cords to be able to make any combination you need, as well as all the fun goodies that are in there. So keep those in mind, because like I said, you're going to love these needles as much as I do, and so the set becomes a more economic choice so that you have them all instead of having to buy them all individually. So keep those in mind. They're the knit red lace needles from ChiaoGoo. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Jen from Jimmy Beans Wool.
Thunder rumbles on this American summer night.